Good afternoon, friends, clients, industry colleagues. Welcome to the official watch party for WellNet Plus. I see we've got more participants are coming in. It is such a great day. We can't believe it's finally here, and we are pumped to share and reveal WellNet Plus to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. I am joined today by our CEO, Keith Lemmer, and our Chief Revenue Officer, Dave Earl. They'll be coming in shortly to dive in and tell you all the great things that we have going on for WellNet Plus. But before that, let's kick this off with a little welcome video. All right, that was our official reveal, our big video. And now I'm going to kick it off to Keith Lemmer.
Welcome to the WellNet launch party. My name is Keith Lemmer, the CEO of WellNet Healthcare. And if this past year has taught us anything, it's that people are much more resilient and much more adaptable to change than we think. 10 years of innovation, working from home, all packed into 12 months. And the same now, if you think about what's happening, can be applied to healthcare. People are ready. Employers are struggling. Now more than ever, they want to offer higher quality, lower cost medical and prescription drug plans to their employees and their families. And they want a better experience. Cash preservation is absolutely critical. People are tired of the balanced bills, the overpayments, the lack of insight. They want a different system. We recognized that now is the time to take WellNet to the next level, to evolve for our broker partners, the business community, and the employees and their families as well. Today is about sharing everything that you know about WellNet and you like. But now WellNet is going to do more. We've turbocharged a self-funded solution. So welcome to WellNet Plus. For those of you that are joining today that may be new, welcome. WellNet builds and optimizes smarter self-funded health plans. We've been doing it for 25 years. And for those of you that know us, welcome, friends. Managing health plans is a journey, creating a path forward, and it requires an evolution at a pace that is comfortable for you and your clients. As an independent and privately held TPA, we sit on the same side of the table as you and your customers. So, what led us to create WellNet Plus?
Keith.
It's the evolution.
Hey, Keith, I know you're on a roll. Just want to make sure that the display settings are in full mode so we can see the entire slides. It's in presenter view right now.
How's that?
Still presenter view.
How's that now?
Now we don't see your screen.
How's that?
Perfect.
All right.
Awesome.
So what led us to create WellNet Plus? What really came down to it in the evolution is that it was really a bunch of combined feedback with industry experts. Those that we know and trust, people like Rob Wheeler from the Carlyle Group, who said, you know what, self-funding makes a lot of sense, and it's the structural savings, right, that people focus on, but it's so much more than that. It's the data, it's what you can do with it. It's the long-term healthcare strategy. People like Chris Orsman, the CEO of Orsman Automotive, one of the largest automotive chains in the nation, said he was just tired of that annual renewal process and he wanted something more. He wasn't comfortable with what he was getting. And then folks ultimately like Adam Zabian, some of our partners in the broker and consultant world, they were coming back to us with some of the things we were doing, some of the savings we were achieving, and the approach and the process. And they were saying, listen, your team is worth every penny, reliable, trustworthy, and getting it done. So that's where we started. What we want to do is introduce one of the newest tools in our innovation packet called Blade. And it's a precision accuracy, let's call it the sharpest knife in the shed, that allows us to go in and realize a lot more areas of opportunity for savings, better outcomes, all the efficiencies, all the things that you may be looking for, but are not receiving from a traditional TPA or ASO or certainly a large insurance company. The reason we really set out to do this, though, think about companies like Kodak, right? Who are not really around in their former iteration, or Blockbuster Video, or the people that made the best buggy whips in the early 1900s. If you don't innovate, you die. So Blade is an immediate and long-term strategy to save money. Lots of areas of opportunity that you can go in and remove all the inefficiency, all the waste that you may know, but you have had difficulty attacking, whether it's billing errors or international outsourcing for RX, steerage to lower cost providers, direct contracts, dialysis carve-out, MRI carve-outs, whatever you are thinking about, saving opportunities that maybe you haven't had the ability to do before, Blade's toolkit allows you to do. And it's really about that journey. You can save as much or as little as you desire and go as fast, as slow as you want. It's really about a healthcare journey, as we like to say, our crawl, walk, run approach for maximum cost reduction. So what we've done is we've put together some turnkey packages with over 20 optimizers. Our crawl approach uses the same PPO networks that you know and trust, allowing you to have opportunities to dig into the data, areas of savings, as well as the highest quality service that you may know and are not getting right now. And it increases at every single level. We migrate over to our walk, which is additional packages along the way, and that approaches about 25% savings when we have the same PPO contracts, as well as now offering direct contracts, steerage opportunities, bundled savings programs, Anything that you can think of that you wanted to do as shared before, you can now implement in an independent TPA environment. And then you migrate over to WellNet's run approach, over 40% savings. This is reference-based pricing on steroids. So it's a continuum. It's about improving savings, improving outcomes with a higher degree of education, a higher degree of savings, and a lot more innovation packed into 3 very simple, very easy to understand turnkey programs. So what are the benefits? Massive amount of opportunity, right? That's what I think everybody's looking for. Transparency on spending drivers, customized plan designs that everybody's looking for. While we have those 3 packages, if you're looking for something a little bit different, right, you can step outside of that. Members are engaged in their care. They're looking for higher quality. They're looking for lower cost. And now they have it packed into WellNet Plus. What do the outcomes look like? Well, everybody, I think, is looking to attack their 3rd largest company expense. It's unsustainable. You also have the ability to waive deductibles when people actually choose higher quality, lower cost care, because many physicians in the same network charge all different rates within the same PPO environment. And so if we have the opportunity with our advocacy to educate and guide people to that $15,000 knee surgery versus the $85,000 one, why not consider waiving the deductible? All of those things are available to do in real time, and our concierge services allow this to happen. In addition, savings increases the value of the company, the valuation, the profitability. We had a company we have been working with, 2,000 employees. We identified $4 million in savings. That $4 million in savings based on this company's, let's call it public nature, they had 19 million shares outstanding. It allowed them to increase their valuation by almost $60 million. That's a massive amount of savings, increase their valuation of their company over 3%. So sample blade outcomes, right? What does it look like? How does it work? Show me, right? I'm from Missouri. So a dialysis carve out, outpatient network allowance, typically $775,000. We were able to get it for the same service, same procedure, $76,000, almost $700,000 in bottom line savings. Bundled contracts for a kidney transplant at one of the most well-known hospitals in the nation, Johns Hopkins. Network allowance was $325,000. The bundled contract pricing, $167,000, $157,000 in savings. RX assistance with international outsourcing, 4 members, 4 drugs over the course of the year, saved this company $66,000. And WellNet provides all the handholding, all the education to do this. Marketplace plans, while we're not putting anybody in a particular marketplace plan, we're looking at the eligibility, we're guiding, we're advising. In this particular case, there was a member that was having a bone marrow transplant. They were a COBRA participant. And we were able to eliminate $850,000 that was going to be charged for their spec deductible. Massive. And then 2 more to finish it up. Medicare Advantage plan, we identified a member that was being treated for multiple sclerosis, $257,000 by helping them to enroll, by guiding them, by advising them, offering so much more, both for the member as well as for the company. Save as well as improve the experience. And then last, advanced imaging carve out. 3 members, some CT scans. Prices in that area were almost $3,700. We were able to get it for $405, a $9,900 savings, massive amount of money. How are we doing all these things? What does it look like behind the scenes? WellNet has put together a 3-tier advocacy program supported by member and account teams. So clinical advocates, they diagnose and answer your basic questions, right, about treatments and things that you're concerned for you and your family. Care promoters that locate the highest quality providers, whether it's 2 miles or 25 miles from your house, centers of excellence. And then customer care advocates that provide all the education needed to make these things happen. And all of these people, all of these team members at WellNet are all supported by member and account managers that are dedicated to you, to your customers and their members. first line of defense, and then everybody else to do all the analysis and plan review. All these things bundled into WellNet Plus. As a trusted partner, to me, that's the most important thing. We've been around a little over 25 years, and with over 500 customers, 200,000 members, and a 98% retention rate, people are not only coming to us, they're staying with us and they're recommending us, which has led us recently to our Net Promoter Score, which is in essence an algorithm calculation that says how likely are people to recommend you. Our Net Promoter Score is 4 times the industry average of our closest competitor. These organizations, they may do a good job paying claims, but they're not digging in, providing the analysis, the insight, and the opportunity for an improved member experience. And just to put this also into perspective, Apple's Net Promoter Score is in the low 80s as well. So the evolution of WellNet, right? We've been doing this almost 25 years plus, right? Started off as a PBM, migrated to Pop Health, built an innovative and patented technology stack that allows us to operate all of these programs. And that is what led us to building and developing and launching WellNet Plus today. Harvard Business Review, Wall Street Journal, and others, they've called us the employer's healthcare playbook, right? It's the independent opportunity to give you the maximum control that you need, that your customers, that their members are in fact looking for. It's here today. So the sandbox we play in, and what do we do to help you all going forward? Well, as I mentioned before, right? WellNet builds and optimizes smarter self-funded health plans, but the places and the areas that we focus in on, it's companies that have 100 to 5,000 employees. Those that are really led by entrepreneurs. If I looked across our entire block of business, it's CEOs and CFOs that are digging in, that they want to understand their third biggest expense. They want to understand where the bodies are buried. And those groups are either fully insured, level funded, or already self-funded right now. Frankly, we feel like a lot of the opportunities are coming now from larger self-funded companies because those businesses have understood the value and the financing aspect of being self-funded. Now they actually want somebody to do it better, do it faster, do it more efficient, and do it less costly. It's all about, as I shared earlier, cash preservation. And the industries we work on, I'd say it's almost any industry, though. It's 12 in particular that we focus in on, anywhere from automotive to healthcare and pharma and everything in between. We don't spend a lot of time working with organizations that are run by boards because decision by committee is somewhat challenging. So how can we assist you today and going forward? We're approaching the July renewal season and the balance of the year. Healthcare is not getting any less costly. The experience is not getting anywhere near the level of improvement that it requires. For us that we've seen and working with our partners and those that may have received a sizzling package from us recently, when we have the opportunity to ride shotgun with you and well in advance of the renewal and do our Blade toolkit analysis, showing what may be $200,000 or $800,000 or $2 million in savings, even before we take over the plan with areas of opportunity, and then actually sharing and showing alongside you, again, riding shotgun with you, with your customer, with your prospect, right? You wouldn't go into an opportunity and just fill out an RFP and not have an ability to meet the customer, right? That you're trying to win the business. And that's the same thing for WellNet, right? We like to partner, really working on those groups together, communicating side by side on whether it's a virtual meeting or in person, as some states are allowing now, having the ability to actually show what WellNet Plus is all about, both for your retention as well as for your growth. So we look forward to having the opportunity to partner with you, continue to partner with you, and really show you that WellNet Plus is more, better, less expensive, all for the type of cost containment and analysis and requirements that you and your customers are looking for. So if you have questions or proposals that you may want to send over, Dave Earle, our Chief Revenue Officer, is going to be on point to receive all of those items. Dave has a team around the country of representatives. And in addition to us actually sharing this deck with you all, It's going to have contact information of every one of our representatives located around the country. And Dave, also, I know some questions have been coming in at the moment. Would you mind hitting on those remarks and items that people are looking for some feedback on, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. Keith, thank you so much for the presentation. That was awesome. I love hearing you and your passion. And so, yeah, there are a lot of questions coming in. Justin, thanks for, you just said, love the name Blade, so we appreciate that. And so got a couple of questions. One of them came in, just said, any plans to work with groups under 100 and under 50? And so we do work with groups sometimes under 100, but what we have found generally is that groups 100 to 5,000, they already have data, information, and experience from their current arrangement. And when you share that information with us, then we're able to do the toolkit analysis through Blade and really help you predict and give you a more accurate quote that's going to be meaningful to you to present to your client. But that said, we do on occasion look at groups under 100 and happy to take that into consideration. Let's see here. Let me look at some of these other questions. So someone's just asking, so how is WellNet Plus different from the current solution? Well, kind of like you saw from the video, it's all about WellNet and who we were, and it's adding more. It's more of everything. It's one of the things I heard Keith say that I liked. It's about evolving. You know, the industry is evolving, healthcare is evolving, and so our toolkit had to evolve. In fact, I'll give you an example. Just last week, we were having conversations with a company that specializes in MSK, or musculoskeletal issues. And what we have found is that that is one of the biggest cost drivers of health plans across the country. And so that is not something that's currently in our toolkit. So we said, you know what, maybe that's something we need to add to the toolkit. And so that's the kinds of things that we're constantly doing, is taking what we have today and evolving and adding more tools as we need to. Give you another example, telemedicine. Telemedicine was an offering that many people were offering over the past 3 to 4 years, but had very little utilization. The pandemic hits, and now what happens? Everybody's using telemedicine. And so what we did is we took telemedicine, and instead of making it one of our toolkit items, which it still is today, we've actually made it part of our core offering. And so that's how we are evolving, because what we offer as a core offering and what we offer in the toolkit has to evolve and has to change with you, the industry, and what's going on.
Yeah, and Dave, if I can add, what we've also done is amped up the training and the service and the higher attention outside of just the analysis and the cost saving opportunities. If anybody knows me from the 25 years at WellNet, right, I am an absolute lunatic for high response, touch. Tell our customers, tell our partners, making sure we're setting and resetting expectations. And that has permeated through the entire organization. And so doing all those things and making certain that is injected within Blade and WellNet Plus has been an absolute priority for us.
Yeah, and Keith, let's see here. We've got another question said, how are the COE bundles administered? So for those of you who don't know, and that was from Mason, by the way, thank you, Mason. COE, if you're not aware, COE simply stands for Center or Centers of Excellence. And so obviously we know that Centers of Excellence is really where you want to send people to have significant surgeries performed, because we know that they drive better outcomes. That, in fact, is why Walmart set up their solutions to focus on Centers of Excellence. And so, yes, at WellNet, we also have relationships and partnerships that bring Centers of Excellence to us and to our customers, and it's bolted into our solutions, and we're happy to offer that to you and your customers at any time. So thanks, Mason, for that question. Let's see here. It says, is Blade an internal solution, or are you partnering with different vendors for various services? And that's coming from Omar. Omar, great question. So Blade is simply our toolkit. And we're calling it Blade because think of it this way. What does a chef, a hunter, or a surgeon use whenever they're performing their procedures? They use a knife, and that knife has to have a blade of precision to cut through whatever they might be doing. And so that's how we look at Blade. Blade is an instrument of precision to allow us to administer cost containment services to be able to drive down the cost of healthcare in any given health plan. And so While we may, in some cases, like through direct contracts or through centers of excellence, partner with other organizations to bring those solutions to bear for our clients, most of these solutions that we're describing and bring to you are solutions that we have developed in-house and have been in place for many years. Keith, anything you'd add to that?
I would just say that, it really goes back to our 3-tier approach with advocacy, account management, care coordinators. A lot of that heavy lifting is done internally. Several years ago, we used to outsource a lot of those items and realized we didn't have the control and the flexibility. And so we brought a lot of those items under the leadership of our COO, Kathy Salmon. So we have fully built out those teams to do those things internally. But absolutely, as Dave mentioned, we pull in partners for their areas of expertise as well.
So let's see here, going back to the questions. I know that we're running out of time. I see that we've got a question from James Steins, and he said, really wanted to know about the stop-loss providers, terms, arrangements, and I guess like who we're using. And so let's just jump to that. So when it comes to stop-loss providers, really we're agnostic. If you've got a stop-loss solution or provider that you're working with today, we're more than happy to bolt that onto the solution and to provide that as a package deal with you. But if you would like for WellNet to do that, we're happy to do that because we can do traditional stop loss, we can do captives, we can do consortiums. And in fact, we have aligned ourselves with some partners who actually recognize the value of Blade and give us a decrement now in our stop loss for the services that we provide. And for those of you that have been in the industry for a long time, it's very difficult to get a stop loss provider to give you a decrement for what you do. And we're fortunate to have those kinds of relationships and happy to bring those to bear with you if you give us the opportunity.
Excellent, Dave. I think Megan is, pulling us out. We're hitting up on 2:30. I know there's a bunch of questions, and so maybe if we can, you can have people hit you offline. And I know we're going to send the deck and a few other items by tomorrow. And let's do this. Thank you for responding to all those. Thanks to everybody for joining. And Megan, I know you want to kick us out properly. Go ahead.
Yep, we're just so excited. We want to thank you guys for being here, and we're going to take it out. We want to show this awesome video one more time, and this video will be available for you to share to your clients, to your prospects, and get them amped up about WellNet Plus because it's the year of more.
Thank you, Megan.
All right. That video gets me pumped all the time. I love it. Well, thank you for watching with us. We're going to let you get back to your day and have an amazing week. Contact us. We are going to be in touch as well. We're going to send you collateral and this presentation. We'll give you the video, all the great stuff to give you more info on WellNet Plus. Thanks so much for joining. We'll see you next time.
Thank you all. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Dave.